Caitlin and welcome to my channel. So for today's video, I am going to be packing for a trip that is just over a week. And I've done a couple of videos like this in the past, but the main difference between those videos and this video is that for those videos, when I was packing to travel, I was traveling via like car and driving. And for this trip that I am packing for, I am actually going to be flying on a plane. So I have to pack very minimal and in a much smaller suitcase than I, quite frankly, normally would. And what's ironic about me having to pack in a smaller suitcase for this trip is that normally when I am packing for trips, they are happening in the summer, so I don't need to pack super bulky clothing like jackets or like long pants or just like layers of things. But since it is late November now, I am going to definitely need to be packing some warmer clothing. So I'm actually trying to do something that I have seen like online for a while now, and that is a capsule wardrobe. Now, I by no means am a like minimalist. I quite frankly have a lot of clothes and a lot of things in general, but from what I understand about a capsule wardrobe is that the point is you have a bunch of like pieces that are very similar and then like a couple of like fun pieces that you can mix and match all together. And the goal is to have like maybe 9 different pieces total and make like 18 outfits out of it somehow. And I've always thought that that's a really cool concept. And like I said, I have never been a minimalist in that way, but I thought that it would be kind of fun to try out that mindset or just like that way of packing for a trip like this where I have to pack more minimally, but I need multiple options. I'm also like technically cheating when it comes to capsule wardrobing, if you will, because I'm traveling with my parents and my dad has some extra space in his suitcase. So I did end up putting a couple of my things in his. So technically my entire wardrobe isn't going to fit into this one suitcase, but I feel like I did do a pretty good job of keeping the packing minimal and only really packing necessities, specifically necessities that I could like wear multiple times in different ways. So I'm at least proud of myself in that regard. You're probably not going to be able to actually see the suitcase as I'm packing it, but the goal is to put everything in this carry-on sized suitcase. And I'm pretty sure I won't have a problem with that, but there is always the possibility. So let's find out. All right, so first up, I am going to be bringing a couple of sweatshirts that can double as like going out outfits, but also if I'm like cold at night, I can put it on over my pajamas. And I have 2 options. One is a bluey sweatshirt, and the other is this sweatshirt that says currently reading. I am specifically bringing this bluey sweatshirt because I am going to be meeting my newest nephew for the first time ever on this trip. And I am so excited. And my sister, who is the one that just gave birth, really loves Bluey, and I'm pretty sure is going to like show him Bluey when he's old enough to like kind of understand it a little better. So I'm really excited for that. I think that's gonna be so much fun. Next up, I have some sets of pajamas, and this is where I strayed the most from the idea of a capsule wardrobe, because I really just like having different pajamas. I think it's fun and cute. And there's nothing more fun to me than like a matching pajama set. And I'm bringing 2 of those, 2 of which are Snoopy themed. There's this one that's like a more fall themed with Snoopy and pumpkins. But I also have one that I got recently that's Snoopy and it's very like wintry themed. But I've also got another one that's a pair of shorts and a t-shirt and a pair of longer pants and a t-shirt. Now for the pieces that are like actually more of the capsule wardrobe that we're going for. I have a pair of sweats and a pair of leggings, both black, because I feel like those can be kind of paired well with most things, plus a pair of black jeans and a white cropped sweater. That is going to be everything that is going in the base of my suitcase because, like I said, more bulky clothing tends to take up a lot more space. But I do have a couple of other things. I'm bringing a couple of different types of tank tops. I actually have one white and one black one, and then I'm also going to be bringing a turtleneck that is sleeveless and is really nice for layering. And those will be going in a little netting part that's up here, which you can't see, but I'll make sure to show you in just a second. Right there. And then, like I said a second ago, there were a couple of things that I did end up putting in my dad's suitcase, and those things were a leather jacket that I was actually originally going to wear just to the airport so that I didn't have to worry about putting it in my bag, but since he had space, I put it in there. I also am bringing a jean jacket, and I think I had an extra pair of white tennis shoes put in his suitcase. My airport outfit is actually purposefully some of my like most bulky clothing that I wanted to bring, which is a hoodie that I really love and a pair of ripped jeans. And I know I might sound a little insane saying that I'm going to be wearing jeans to the airport, but like generally speaking, I don't really mind wearing jeans. I think jeans are actually really comfortable if you like find a pair that fits you well and just like isn't irritating. And this pair that I'm going to wear is definitely that. And the only other pair of shoes that I will be bringing is the pair of shoes that I will be wearing to the airport. Now, with the exception of some socks and undergarments, that is all that is going to be going into my carry-on suitcase. And the reason that I haven't packed those things is because I am still technically a couple of days out from my trip, so I don't need to pack those things quite yet. And now that I'm done with that, I can go ahead and start thinking about what I'm going to bring in my personal bag. Again, I'm not actually going to start packing my personal bag yet because I still have a couple of days before I leave, and most of the stuff that I'll be putting in that bag is stuff that I will be using throughout the coming days. I'll probably end up having a book bag as my personal bag, and some of the stuff that I would put in there are a tote bag that I can use once I am at my destination, so I'm not having to carry around a book bag everywhere. I'll definitely bring my electronics, so my iPad, my laptop, and then all of the chargers that would go with that. And of course, I can't go anywhere without a couple of books, just in case I have some time to read, which I'm pretty sure I'll have a little bit. And I have a multitude of books that I am going to hopefully bring. Most of these books are books that I had on my fall TBR that I haven't even touched yet, but know that I want to read. And most of them are fall themed because the thought process is if I don't read the fall themed books right now, then I have to wait a whole nother year until it's autumn again, and I don't want to do that. So I want to be able to hopefully read as many fall books as I can. For example, we have The Cinnamon Bun Store by Lori Gilmore. Now, I don't know if this book is an explicitly fall book, but the cover kind of gives fall, and it was released during the fall months, and that is People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. Then I have two books in the same series, Fall I Want and Fall at Once. I also have Anatomy by Dana Schwartz, which looks so interesting and genuinely intriguing, and I really want to start this one. And then lastly, I have Sunny Skies Ahead by Hallie Ann. I'm also currently in the middle of a different book right now, so if I don't finish that book before my trip, then I will be bringing 7 books. I honestly kind of speed ran through my packing, mostly because, like I've said multiple times now, there are just some things that I'm not gonna be packing until probably the night before my flight, just because I'll be using them up until that point. But I'm honestly so relieved to just have most of the packing, like clothes-wise, out of the way and done with, so that I don't have to stress about it the night before. But I think that will be all for this video. So if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!